I know a big thing coming into tonight's preseason game was just taking what you guys did in training camp and how you applied it. How do you think those guys did today?
You're never going to, it's almost like a sliding scale, and I felt like the times that, were characteristic of some of the things we've been trying to train, when we did them, we have success. And that's always good to see. It tells us, coaching staff, the players, our entire group, that that's the path that we need to follow to be a good basketball team. And then, then there's Indiana puts a lot of pressure on you. I thought there was a point in the second half where we stopped running back. For the most part, I thought we were focused on getting back in transition. So just understanding how much our offense and defense are interconnected, but I was happy to see there was a real effort by our guys to do some of the things that we've been trying to do, and it's the first time we've had a chance to do that in the game. So I think their commitment to that will get stronger and stronger, and the more we do it, the easier it gets, and over time it becomes, hopefully more of who you are.
Speaking of things getting a little easier as the things go on or time goes on, Zach looked more and more comfortable as tonight's game went on. How do you rate his performance?
The best, the best thing, obviously, I think he made some plays. I thought it looked like he was enjoying himself, and not just making a shot, but he just got to throw himself into the game, because when you are the number one pick, people are going to be analyzing everything that you're doing, good and bad. And I was happy he had some success tonight. He's going to have more good games. He's going to have some bad games. But seeing him really have fun playing with his teammates and, those guys making each other better was what I enjoyed.
Kobe was another guy that looked really comfortable tonight leading the offense when he came in. What would you say about his performance and what he was able to do tonight?
There was a few possessions, where we really moved the ball, and he was part of initiating the possession and getting us an advantage, and then we kept playing, and that was good to see. I mean, it's for us, when we have different guys, we can get a critical mass of guys on the floor that are passing the ball and spacing and continuing to play. The probability that everybody does it goes up. As soon as we get, 2, 3 guys that aren't doing that, it becomes very difficult for the rest of the group to do that. So when Kobe comes in and he's passing the ball ahead and doing some of those things offensively, it really connects us. And maybe the best thing that I thought he did tonight was he defended, to see him get up and get up the court. That's something that's going to be, we'll be able to see that some on film tomorrow, where that we had breakdowns. They put a lot of pressure on you. You have to guard your man in space a lot of times, but the times that you are able to help, you need to be there. You need to be there, and we weren't always there, but I thought Kobe's, ball pressure in particular really gave us a lift.
Coach Vitt had himself some pretty explosive plays the second half. He really handled the ball a lot of the second half. Is that something you see him doing as one of your primary ball handlers, like going forward this season?
Yeah, I think that's one of the things that our team has to kind of figure out. Something, talking to Trey and JJ even at the beginning of the game, we're trying to do some things that are a little, puts guys in some positions that are a little uncomfortable. Veet is comfortable handling the ball, and other guys have to be comfortable with Veet handling. And we're obviously comfortable with Trey handling. We have other guys that can handle the ball, maybe not on the same level as Trey, but you get Jalen in the open floor with the ball, and then Trey can be off the ball, and it comes back to him. And that level of trust that it requires is unique. You have to trust to give the ball up early, that you're going to still be a part of the play. And that's something that's been a big point of emphasis for us. When you get pressured up the floor the way that they were at times, if there's one guy that's trying to bring it up against full court pressure, that and you don't have to do it, why would you do it? You can just throw it to that guy, and he can bring it up. And that's the level of trust I think that will continue to develop as we continue to play together.
Hey, Coach, you just spoke a little bit about sort of putting the trust in the guys and doing these lead passes. What does that look like in practice? How do you build that trust between guys? Because it really seemed like there was a big emphasis tonight.
That's our players, embracing what we want to do, and it's not easy. It really isn't. It requires 5 guys. It requires 5 guys on the floor, and then the other guys that come in the game, can impact that. And when that's the case, the game gets fun. And it's not the only part of the game though. I mean, the same trust occurs on the defensive end. In a pick and roll, someone communicating to you, trusting that you have help behind you, and we need to keep building that trust.
Coach, what are some things that you saw from Dyson tonight, putting him in the starting lineup, and how did he mesh with the group?
Yeah, I mean, Dyson did a lot of good things. I thought, defensively, we've talked about his presence on the court defensively, but I thought he made the game simple. He made the right pass when someone was open. He passed to him. He moved without the ball when he needed to. He spaced. I mean, it's such a elusive thing to talk about spacing all the time, but that's if you're not spaced, it's hard to play together. And Dyson does all those things, and he does them intuitively, and he's committed to them, and as a result, he's someone that that makes his team better.